You are now listening to the NFT Quarterback Podcast with your host, Riki Van Winkle.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NFT Quarterback Podcast. Today's episode, I'm joined by the man himself, Singh. We're going to go over Thursday Night Football and get into the games for Week 6. So, Danny, what happened Thursday Night Football?
Thursday Night Football was a lot of trash, honestly. A bunch of garbage on the field. The one bright spot was Justin Fields does have some wheels on him, so he was able to use that a lot of the time. And between the inaccuracy on his long passes and his receivers just dropping the ball at times, their throwing game is non-existent in Chicago.
Ouch. How was the running game? Was it just Justin Fields running the ball, or did they have running backs doing the job too?
For the most part, it was just Justin Fields scrambling around after a broken play, whether the pocket had fallen or collapsed or just a designed running play. But yeah, man, I don't know why they even gave these guys. I mean, he had 88 yards on the ground. He had 190 yards throwing, so it just wasn't bad. One TD, one pick.
Yeah, but Washington right now really isn't known for his defense. So the fact that plays are breaking down and he has to scramble that much, 88 yards, if a lot of that is scrambling, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, because Chicago's O-line is one of the worst in the league. So I'm going to predict that Chicago is going to do something over the offseason, whether it's beef up that O-line or get some new wide receivers out there, because Justin Fields needs some help, man. I like the kid, but he can't do all alone.
Yeah, and that was a story, I believe, last offseason was they're trying to get this guy some help as far as the receiver position goes. But there has not been much improvement at all. So I'm not sure what their idea of help is. Maybe they need to get that fixed first and then go try to get him some help.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, I mean, they did have a chance to win at the end, and the wide receiver just kind of dropped the ball, or he fumbled, he just didn't have full control of the football when he caught it on the goal line. And by the time he got control of the ball, he was at the 1 yard line and he was tackled out of bounds. So they had a chance to win. You know, it was a good throw. It was right on the money. It hit him in the hand. He just couldn't hold on to it.
That's unfortunate. So the Commanders snuck out with the win there, and that puts both them and the Bears at 2-4. And the more interesting story, really, than the game is kind of what's going on with Dan Snyder. And I was wondering if you could just fill us in real quick on what's going on there and what your opinions on that story are.
Dan Snyder is kind of like that guy that you try to push at the pool party, that you try to push into the pool, and he grabs your arm and pulls you down with him. You know, he's kind of got his guard up at the moment. He's like, well, if I'm going down, I'm taking everyone with me. You know, he claims to have dirt on all the other owners, including Jerry Jones. And when you're a billionaire and you're friends with other billionaires, you're obviously going to have dirt on your billionaire friends, you know? That's not unexpected out of this, you know?
Yeah, I think not even at the billionaire level. If you got buddies, even if you're just a regular person, you know, you got buddies that you hang out with all the time, you're gonna know a thing or two about them that might not be appeasing if it were to come out to a more broad audience.
Yeah, I mean, there are things that we've done in the past. I'm like, hey, let's not talk about this on the podcast or in front of everybody, anyone else. You know, let's just keep this between us, buddy. We were in college.
It was a long night, a dark and stormy night.
It was a long
as far as Dan Snyder goes, he doesn't need to actually have dirt on everybody because it's going to take 24 owners voting him out of his spot for him to have to be forced to sell his team. So when I was going through the article, I had read that he had private investigators looking into like 6 or so other owners and also looking into the commissioner, which I'm not sure what role the commissioner has in his getting his team taken from him, but he was allegedly has dirt on the commissioner also.
Yeah, seems like he's looking to find 9 separate scapegoats, you know? He's just like, well, dirt on 9 other people. That's going to leave 23 votes total, so good luck. Good luck getting me out of here.
Yeah, he ain't going down without a fight. And the dude is pretty young. He's like 56, and he's owned the team for 23 years.
So, damn, he's only 56, that's all?
Yeah. He looks young.
Life. That's a good life.
Hey, man, he has in the article also said he has a $48 million estate in Virginia.
God damn. Who knows what goes down over there?
Yeah, I mean, with those kind of numbers, dirt is something we can't even comprehend. His kind of dirt is like $1 million dirt. And I literally have dirt from outside on my shoes, so we can't really get into what they've been doing and stuff. And I'm sure a lot of the things, even, if it's not related to him getting his team taken from him, a lot of the stuff he does and a lot of these owners probably do is definitely going to be appalling if any average person were to hear it.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, he's probably done and seen some crazy things, and he's probably got some secret footage of those things stashed away somewhere, and he's just like, hey, if you guys attempt to take my team away from me, I'm going to expose you guys. So, definitely a shady move from a shady guy. So, I don't know why we expect anything less from this guy, anything more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally think that if the staff or the fans really want him out, then they should boycott a home game or 2.
Mm-hmm.
If he's known to be this asshole of a boss, why don't all the staff members at the arena or stadium just boycott one whole game? He's not gonna be able to fire everyone, right? And then that will just create total chaos. And the league will look into this, like, hey, you can't even control your team.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what kind of effect that would have on the people voting him out then, because if he's the only one losing money, maybe, the visiting teams coming through, they're not making money on those games, and then the other owners, once it starts getting to their pocketbooks, then they're probably going to get really serious about what they want to do with this guy.
Yeah, that's the only time that our voices are ever heard to these billionaires is when it starts affecting their money.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, they do not care what we have to say.
Yeah, definitely not. All right, man. Cool. So we got a whole stack of games coming up this week, and it seems every week it just gets more and more complicated to pick the games because, as you've seen the last couple of weeks, you pick them, and then Sunday happens, and you're just like in shock and awe of what went down, and it's really incredibly difficult to predict. But we're gonna go ahead and test the waters anyway, see if we can get it worked out.
Yeah, last week pretty much went 1 for 1. Almost pretty much went 50%. Luckily, the Chiefs pulled out a 1-point victory at the end on Monday night, so I went 8 for 7. So
yeah, so you basically just spun a wheel, and you could have just picked at random, pretty much at 8 and 7.
Yeah, exactly. I pretty much just could have picked the home team every game. I probably would end up the same.
Yeah, I'd like to think there's a little more to it than that. Maybe picking at random would get you like 2 wins. You'd like to think, but we'll see.
Injuries definitely play a factor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, last week, Tua sat out, and then Teddy Two Gloves got the start, but he had also gotten injured that game. The Jets came through with a big victory. I believe it was like 30-9 or something like that. The Jets over the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So injuries do take a big factor. So you got that. I think that's the biggest thing to consider, especially as the season progresses.
Yeah, I can get with that. Like quarterback play, especially you got Teddy out there in the place of Tua, and if he gets hurt, then you're getting into that Bailey Zappi situation where some no-name's going to be coming off the bench and leading your team to disarray.
You know, Zappi got the victory, so you can't be all down on Zappi.
Zappi. We'll see. We'll see how he does this week. I got
This week, I believe Teddy is hurt again. Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater is questionable. Tua is out. Yeah, Miami's down to the third quarterback again.
Does their third quarterback have a name? Do you have that on your list?
Let me see. Pulling up the roster. Reed Sinnett.
All right.
Out of San Diego College.
San Diego College.
Yeah.
That's right next door to San Diego State, isn't it?
College San Diego. I don't know if that is UC San Diego. San Diego State.
What is San Diego College?
I don't know. It just says College San Diego.
You know, they have a very fine establishment in Fresno called Fresno City College. I believe it was the name. Maybe it's that kind of situation. San Diego College.
This is University of San Diego. That's what this is.
Oh, okay. That's
San Diego Toreros.
The Toreros.
I don't know how that means.
Need to work on that Spanish, man. Aren't you in California? Didn't you just eat a burrito for lunch? You don't know what a torero is?
What is a torero?
I don't know what a torero is.
You get on me.
It's all good.
Maybe
a what?
Maybe a bullfighter? Because I know a toro is a bull. Let me look it up.
Yeah. Go for that, man. I'm going to get into this. While you're looking up, I'm going to start on this first game right here. We got the Ravens playing at the Giants. So the Giants came off an impressive win last week where they were in London. And the Ravens are a team that's not going down easy. You got the definition over there?
Bullfighter, fool.
Did you just really guess that correctly?
I told you because a toro is a bull. And I was like, shit, bullfighter. You know, that was my guess.
Look at you. I don't know why you're not a linguist if you have that kind of ability, man.
I told you, I'm born and raised in California, man. I may not speak a lot of Spanish, but I speak enough.
Oh, you're killing me, man. The Toreros.
What are you talking about? Sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's all good. We got the Ravens, the Giants. The Giants played good last week. Impressive game. Daniel Jones was really impressive. Saquon Barkley was really impressive. And the Ravens, they're not going down without a fight this year.
They were also really impressive. They got a victory over the Bengals. So they finally were able to get a lead and then hold on to it.
Yeah.
I mean, they very often get a lead this year, and then their defense just kind of lets them down, you know. But last week was just a little different. Went up 3-0, 10-0, 10-10, 13-10. Somehow got the victory out in the end.
They had Tucker come out there in the last minute and hit that game-winning field goal, I believe.
Yeah, game winner while the clock hit all zeros. 43 yards. So, over Lamar. That's my guy. I want him to do well. I want him to get that Watson money.
Mm-hmm.
So, in honor of that, I'll be taking the Ravens this week at home against the Giants. Oh no, sorry, on the road against the Giants.
Okay. Yeah, I could get with you, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna take the Giants because I'm really big on Daniel Jones, especially seeing his grit last week. And the Ravens, they have a lot of space to move, especially after getting a divisional win last week. And that division is just so horribly weak this year. I think that the Ravens can afford to lose this game. The Giants cannot afford to lose, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Giants this week.
That's a good pick. Danny Dimes and other guys out there fighting for a contract, and that division is just feel tight right now. Two teams at 4-1, one team at 5-0. So that looks like that's going to come down to the wire for sure. All three of those teams are playing really, really well, really good football at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. So we got that, and the next game is the Jaguars at the Colts. So we were hot on the Jaguars when they were playing well about 3 weeks ago, and now they're like sputtering out of control. I have no clue what's going on over there. And the Colts, they started off slow, and now they picked up the pace to a slow trot. It's kind of a toss-up for me. I don't know. How do you see that game going?
Yeah, the Colts definitely started off slow. I think they were 2-1, and then they got two. I think they're on a 2-game winning streak at the moment. But this is another divisional game. This is gonna be tough for them. If the Colts want to assert any dominance in this division, this is their time to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stick with my boy Trevor Lawrence from the Jags, and he's playing well. It's just his team just seems a bit young and immature, But this is one of those growing experiences here. They took an unfortunate L last week to the Texans. I did not expect that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this will be a redemption week for him. Taking the Jags.
Nice, taking the Jags. I'm also taking the Jaguars, although I'm not going to lock that one in or anything crazy like that. But I just want to see the Jaguars take that division because I called them like 4 weeks ago. I called them to have a chance to win the division, and then they just let me down ever since. So they need to step up this week, and for that reason, I'm going to pick the Jags also.
Nice. That's one I'm not too confident about, but that's one I'm like, actually, you know what? I'm going to switch that. I'm going with the Colts.
The old switcheroo.
That one is not. I'm like, you know what? I'm picking I wasn't going to go with my heart or my brain, but my brain's like, no, at home, the Colts should pull that out. I'm going to go with the Colts this week.
There you go. We got the next game is the Patriots at the Browns. And the Browns, a lot of people saying they should be 5-0 or they could be 5-0, but they're like 2-3, I believe. And the Patriots absolutely destroyed whoever it was they were playing last week.
The Detroit Lions.
Yeah, it was like 29-0. It was an absolute destruction. And
after that game, I had thought about it, and was it 3 years ago when the Patriots played the Rams in the Super Bowl, and Jared Goff was also the quarterback of that team because he was the quarterback of the Detroit Lions last week. I think Belichick has just got his number. He's like, hey, I know how this guy plays. I studied enough film on him. He shut him down in the Super Bowl 3 years ago. He shut him down again last week. So some players, some coaches just got their number,
Yeah, that Super Bowl was tough to watch, but
it up like 14-6 or something.
Yeah, but I think all the Patriots wanted to do in that game was win it, and they did not care how ugly it was. They did not care about the ratings, none of that stuff. They're like, we're just gonna win the Super Bowl. I don't care how ugly it is, and that's how they took it in that one.
Yeah, for sure. They're like, we're just gonna do whatever we gotta do to get this W.
And now they're playing the Browns this week. I don't know if to take. Should I take him seriously after last week? I have no clue. The Browns, the running game is just way too strong for me to be like, I'm gonna go with the Patriots on this one. If I'm gonna pick, and I did pick, I got my pick right here. I got the Browns winning this game at home against Bailey Zappi and the Patriots.
Okay, I can see that. Browns are 2.5 point favorites. And you're right, their running game is definitely elite. Definitely one of the best in the league. But I think Belichick is always a safe pick when he plays against an unproven quarterback like Jacoby Brissett. So even though Mac Jones is questionable, and they're most likely going to start Zappy, I'm going to go with the boy from Western Kentucky. I'm going to pick the Patriots this week.
There we go. Let's get some wins under Zappy's belt. Let's get him out there 2-0 with the starts. I'd like to see it happen. I'm still picking the Browns, but I would not be upset if Zappy comes out there and shows us all how it's done.
What are the two things you need for every football game? Beer and jerky. Now, guys, if you have not had Bandit's Jerky out of El Paso, Texas, then you have not experienced jerky. Go to their Instagram page today at Bandits Jerky 915. That's Bandits Jerky 915. Over there, you can place an order today for one of their 4 different flavors. All these flavors are here to satisfy your cravings, especially on Sunday when it's time for football. They have red chili, lemon pepper, original flavor, and green chili. All these flavors you guys can order today by reaching out to Bandits Jerky on Instagram at Bandits Jerky 915.
Let's talk about this one in Hotlanta. Just win Jimmy.
Hell yeah.
Going down to Hotlanta. Let's see, what do you think about this matchup?
You already know what I think about this matchup.
Well, you know what? Then we agree. Niners, 5-point favorites. I think they're gonna run all over the Atlanta. I think they're gonna control the O line and the D line, and I think Mariota will be scrambling around here and there. But at the end of the day, I don't think he'll be able to get enough done by himself. And I think the Niners will come out of Atlanta with a victory.
Yeah, I see that happen. Also, I was reading some stuff on the Niners' defense is on an elite pace right now. So they got numbers similar to, not as good as, but similar to the 2000 Ravens as far as like yards per rush, points per game. And they also have numbers similar to those 2008 Steelers, which I believe is that team that beat the Cardinals in the Super Bowl back in 09. February 09. Right, so the Niners defense is incredible right now, and the Falcons, basically it's a must-win game for the 49ers. They need to stack some W's, and they should be able to pull this one off.
Yeah, I think, you're right. Especially with the Rams playing the Panthers this week, the Niners definitely need to get a victory to keep on pace with them. And on top of that, the wild card situation is looking kind of crazy with the Cowboys and who else? The Giants held that 4 victories already. So, yeah, man, I think even with because they do have some injuries on defensive end. Bosa is questionable. Kinlaw's out. Armstead is out.
Damn.
So they still have some injuries, but I think they'll have enough.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, definitely got to win, especially with the Rams playing the Panthers, which is almost an automatic win for them. And also in that same division, you have the Seahawks and Cardinals playing this week too, which, yeah.
Yeah, let's just hop right into that game then, because that I think is a toss-up. For real, I honestly do, because you know what? The Cardinals are playing worse than most analysts thought, and the Seahawks are playing better than most analysts. You know, because this one is going to be in Seattle with that 12th man, and Seattle's actually underdog by 2.5 points. So, yeah, with Geno, I think currently Geno Smith is playing better football than Murray. So, yeah, I'll be taking the Seahawks in this one, man.
And I'm just going to second your statement and say it like this. Geno Smith is playing way better football than Kyler Murray right now. And I have a feeling that Geno Smith is going to continue to play consistently well throughout the season. Now, that doesn't mean the Seahawks are going to go and win a whole bunch of games. But the quarterback play on his behalf, I don't see it dropping off. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm looking at the numbers right now. It's crazy. Geno Smith has 1,305 yards, 9 TDs, 2 picks. Murray has 1,241 yards, so that's pretty good. 6 TDs, 3 interceptions. So less TDs, more interceptions. And also, Geno Smith has only thrown the ball 157 times. Kyler's thrown it 215 times.
Oh, crazy.
I mean, he's 141 for 215, and Geno's 118 for 117. That is highly accurate football.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's got to be, what, 70%?
Oh, man.
That is up there, man. 118, 157.
118, 157? We crack that in here. Say 1. 75%,
my guy.
75%?
Yeah.
I got that number too.
What the? That is some highly accurate football, man.
That's what I'm saying, though. That Geno Smith is going to play consistent. I mean, it's no accident when you're putting up numbers like that. You can't do that on accident. And it's already been 5 weeks, so you just give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to continue playing like that.
I'll tell you what, I don't even want to compare these numbers to Russell Wilson's numbers.
Russell Wilson, put that guy, just bench that guy. I'm going to bench all conversation on Russell Wilson.
Man, I swear, I don't even think Russell Wilson has 1,000 yards.
Russell Wilson is confused. You don't know how many yards he has this year.
I feel bad for the guy. He is not playing good football.
I don't know. Maybe he just is he colorblind or something, and he don't know which players play for which team, or maybe he's looking at the cheerleaders when he's dropping back to pass. I have no clue what's going on over there.
Whatever it is, it's not right. He's doing something wrong.
That ain't right. Who was your pick then for that Seahawks and Cardinals game? You said the Seahawks, right?
I'll pick the Seahawks at home. Take the Seahawks.
I got the Seahawks on my list over here too.
Okay.
And that's just sticking with the theme of the year. Cardinals gonna lose every game. That's my motto for picking every Cardinals game this year. Real easy.
They'll get some victories once Hopkins comes back. I think they gave him a 6-week suspension for the PE. I think this is the last week with him out. I believe so. So yeah, maybe they'll start racking up some wins when he comes back.
Maybe not. All right, let's get into that. The game, the Bengals at the Saints. The Saints this year, before the year, there were whispers that the Saints were going to be kind of good this year, and I feel like those whispers have been confirmed by their play. Now they're not at the top of the league, but they're not a doormat. You know what I'm saying? So how do you feel about that game? How do you see that going?
You know, the Saints have kind of been let down for me. I thought they were going to be better than they are, but Jameis has been hurt. He's questionable again, so it's a tough team to read at the moment. They still do have a very good defense, so that's definitely got to be recognized. I don't know, man. They just seem like they're a bit lost without their head coach from last year, Sean Payton. So, with that being said, I think Cincinnati is a 2.5-point favorite. I'll take the favorite in this. I'll be taking the Bengals over the Saints.
Taking the Bengals. I also have the Bengals on my list. But I think there needs to come a point where we stop thinking about the Bengals as the Bengals of last year that had that good playoff run and start realizing that the Bengals are just kind of more of an average team, it seems like, this year.
I mean, it looks like they have a bit of a Super Bowl hangover, but this is kind of how they started last year as well. And it's got hot then the season, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true. Nobody was thinking much of the Bengals, even going into the postseason, that they were going to make a Super Bowl run. That was kind of out of the question.
Yeah, I mean, I would have definitely preferred a Chiefs-Rams Super Bowl, but the Bengals put up a good fight, you know? It was a fairly entertaining Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was a good one. But Aaron Donald wasn't going to let that happen. He wasn't going to lose that game, so that was kind of foregone conclusion. As soon as that fourth quarter started, you kind of already knew the Rams were going to win. All right, so you got the Bengals in that one, and then it comes to this is surprisingly a tough pick. We got the Buccaneers and the Steelers.
You know, only because the Steelers kind of just they need a win. You know, they need a win, and they're gonna be at home, and they've lost a couple of games in a row. I believe 2 games in a row now. So it's another one where it's like my heart wants to pick the Steelers, right? But my mind is like, my brain is like, hold on. Actually, you know what? They lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
They won the game, and then they lost every game since. So from that, no, I will not be betting against Tom Brady. I'll be taking the Buccaneers on the road.
For sure. I'm picking the Bucs in this one. I don't think this is much of a competition for the Buccaneers. Hopefully not. They should walk right through this one. It's not like Kenny Pickett has anything that he can present to Tom Brady that's going to be intimidating. As far as the quarterback matchup goes, it's not even close to a matchup. But Tom Brady needs to check himself at the door, at the stadium gates. Check himself before he gets into this game and try to lose the attitude, bro.
Yeah, he's always gonna get the calls, right? He's Tom Brady. Yeah, man. This one's gonna be an easy one for the Bucs.
For sure. All right. Then we got this is kind of the next game is gonna be the Packers and the Jets, and this one, you know, again, like you're saying, like your head's telling you one thing, your heart's telling you another. For me, I want the Jets to win. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I want the Jets to win this game. Of course, I don't really like the Packers ever, but I think it's a great opportunity for the Jets to kind of get into that AFC wild card picture. And I feel like even though some of their wins were close, in the NFL, a win is a win. And if you look at the Raiders, you could say the Raiders should be better this year because all their losses were within one score. But the Jets are finding a way to win those close games, which is a good quality to
have. The world of NFTs is growing rapidly. Get in there today. Go over to partymansion.io to get yourself set up on the Party Mansion Party Goobs Discord channel. That's where the party is really happening in the NFT world. If you're into artwork, digital artwork, go over and check out the Party Mansion.
All right, so next game on the schedule, the Vikings are playing the Dolphins. Danny, how do you feel about this game?
The Vikings are one of those teams that's kind of just scraping by. They snuck out a win last week against the Bears. They barely snuck out a win the previous week against the Saints, and the week before that, barely won against the Dolphins. So not Dolphins, the Lions. So it's kind of hard to see if they're real or not at the moment. But Tua on the Dolphin side is out again. So on the road, I'll be taking the Vikings on the road this week.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Vikings too. I don't think the Dolphins. They started off hot and they were a big team on a lot of people's power rankings, but right now they're just sputtering down the rabbit hole, and I don't see them making much noise in the coming weeks until they get Tua back. All right, and so then we got the Rams and the Panthers.
This right here, I have this theory of whenever a team fires a head coach, the following week the players always step their game up because they kind of have it in the back of their mind like, well, hell, if he just fired the coach, that means all of our jobs are on the line too.
Yeah.
So I've definitely seen that trend in the past, but at home, the Rams, they definitely need this victory, man. They lost last week to the Cowboys, which was, hats off to the Cowboys. They came through. They won that game down in LA. I'm looking at this as a redemption game for the Rams. I'll take the Rams at home this week.
For sure. Yeah, I have no faith in the Panthers, so I'm gonna take the Rams too. It's just as simple as that.
I feel it.
And next we got our big matchups, our two big matchups for Sunday. Starting off with the Bills at the Chiefs. What are your thoughts on that game?
This one right here is my game of the week. For sure, I'm going to be locked in on this game. This, to me, there are the two best teams in the AFC at the moment. And they're both playing really good football. The Bills just walked all over the Steelers last week. And Kansas City had to come from behind. I believe it was 17-0 at one point in Kansas City last week when they were playing the Raiders. So two teams playing very good football, and there's going to be one guy in the stands that's going to be keeping his eye on this game, and that man's name is OBJ. 100%, this man will be I guarantee you, this man will be at this game looking at these two teams, and his decision coming in mid-November, I think this game will play a big factor in that decision. With all that's being said, I'm going to pick my homie. You know what I'm saying? My homie's out there slinging it. I'll be taking the Kansas City Chiefs in this game.
For sure. So the Bills are one of the best teams in the league. They're, as far as well-rounded attacks, they have a passing attack. They got the rushing attack. They have a really good defense this year. I just never doubt Patrick Mahomes. I don't think, Josh Allen, he's got to get over that hump. But until he does, I'm not going against Patrick Mahomes in this matchup. No way.
Yeah. Even though I agree, I believe the Bills have the better overall team. I've said that in the past on this podcast. I believe the Bills are the better overall team. But at home, right now, I think the Chiefs will get this victory this week.
For sure. And then the next game up is the last remaining undefeated team, the Philadelphia Eagles, going against the Dallas Cowboys. How do you feel about this one?
This one is another toss-up, man, for sure. This is a toss-up game. Both teams coming off a victory. Both impressed. They're both playing really well. I'll be going with the Cowboys, man. I don't know what it is.
Oh
My
snap!
gut is saying Cowboys this week. I don't really know what it is. I like Philly. I just the Cowboys defense really has stepped up this year, man. And I think the Cowboys are gonna get this victory, man.
For sure. I'm going with the Eagles this week. I'm gonna give Hurts the opportunity to go ahead and win a big game. This is his first real big game of the season, and he has to win it, of course, to stay top of that division. Because once you start stumbling, then you start rumbling, and then who knows what could happen. So they need to pull this one out and get that divisional win against a team that could be competition for that division title later on in the season. So I'm gonna go with the Eagles there.
Yeah, man. That's a good pick. I mean, I like the Eagles. I'm a big fan of Jalen Hurts. I just something tells me that Dallas is gonna pull it out this week. I don't know. That boy Cooper Rush, man.
Yeah, I mean, I had no expectations on Cooper Rush. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of expectations, so I'm expecting him to do well this week, and hopefully he does. That'd be good for him. I'd be happy for him. But I don't see the Eagles losing this one. No way.
I can see that. I can see that definitely.
And then we got our last game is the Monday night game. Your beloved Broncos with your
Oh
favorite
my!
quarterback in the world, Russell Wilson.
I don't know how these guys have goddamn prime time games from last week's Thursday night game to this week's Monday night. I mean, come on. This one, I don't know why. I'm gonna go with the Broncos on the road.
Brave and bold call, definitely.
I think this one is gonna. I think this is a hard one. I don't know why. It's just like they can't be that bad. And
That
you know what's crazy is if they win, they'll go to 3-3, and the Chargers will be 3-3.
Yeah, and they're still both all gonna be looking up at the Chiefs.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
No way. The Broncos, they remind me of the Broncos of Broncos past. Ever since Manning left, it's just been a disaster, and that's how I see them playing this week. I think the Chargers are gonna pull this one out. There's way too much pride over there in San Diego or Los Angeles, wherever the hell the Chargers are these days, for them to go. I believe they're playing at home, and then to lose a home game on Monday night to a team that really hasn't done much all year. No way. I'm picking the Chargers on this one.
Okay, yeah, I feel like that's definitely the smart pick there. I just, come on, Russ. Let Russ cook. Come on.
Yeah. But you got to pick games like that if you want to have a good record at the end of the day. I mean, it could go horribly wrong, but you just have to pick like that, I believe, So it might seem like a smart pick now, but then it could be Tuesday morning and, you look like a genius. So that could also totally happen.
I'll put it like this: if the Broncos get blown out, that coach is gonna get fired because they're not gonna blame. They already paid Russ.
Yeah.
They're not blaming him, man.
Russ already is good to go. Even if, I mean, he might want to pull a Matt Rule and go ahead and get fired himself because he got all that guaranteed money anyways. But yeah, if anybody's going to go, it's going to be the coach over there.
My bad about that.
That's all good. All right, Danny. So we hit all the games this week. We talked about Thursday Night Football, got into Dan Snyder, the man himself. And I just want to thank you one more time for coming on the podcast. And I hope you enjoy your week, man.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
All right, brother. Next time.
Production of this episode was sponsored by RMT Books. Thank you for listening to this episode of the NFT Quarterback Podcast. A special thanks to our guest, Danny Singh, for coming on the program, always being ready with his football knowledge.